Thousands of children and families in Marion County struggle with issues like poverty, substance abuse, or mental and emotional illness. Many local services exist to help families in crisis, but families often don't know about these services or can't get to them. Unmet needs can result in child abuse, neglect, or juvenile delinquency. The Early Intervention Planning Council, through the Marion County Commission on Youth's Early Intervention and Prevention Initiative, has created a plan to give families earlier access to services in the hopes of reducing the number of children who get abused or neglected or turn to delinquent acts. We hope you enjoy our monthly program, Our Kids, Our Families, Our Communities, and learn more about the local services here to help you.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Our Kids, Our Families, Our Communities. I'm Shana Martin, Director of the EIP Initiative at McCoy, and today we have an exciting show talking about arts and arts-related programming in the community for young people and families to get involved with. This show is totally focused about prevention, how to get kids and families involved and engaged in our communities, and sometimes we don't think about the arts. We don't think about drawing and singing and instruments and theater, so I'm really excited to have you ladies here today to talk about programs that we have existing in the community for that purpose and what they do and how they help kids and families. So we have Ruth Wolff from the Metropolitan Youth Orchestra, which is a part of the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra, and Keesha Dixon from Asante Children's Theater. So I'll just give you ladies an opportunity to introduce yourself, and then we'll just kind of jump right in. So go ahead, Ruth.
Thank you so much for having me today.
You're welcome.
The Metropolitan Youth Orchestra is a program of the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra, as you just mentioned. It was founded back in 1995 by Betty Perry, who is a wonderful friend and colleague of mine, and I'm very excited to be able to share with you about that program today. MYO is a program that uses music making to build life skills that enable young people to succeed as they grow up. We teach children how to play string instruments, and we also encourage their parents to play with them so they get to rehearse and perform together, and they have a great time. Children are able to enroll in the program beginning as young as kindergarten. They can remain in the program through high school and then also continue as alumni in many different ways. So that's what I'm here to talk about today.
Okay, thank you.
Keesha Dixon, the Executive Director of the Asante Children's Theater, and we have been around since 1990, so we are celebrating 25 years. Wow. We're on the cusp of that. It was founded by Deborah Asante, and she wanted to have a place where young people could explore their artistry through acting, singing, dancing, and storytelling. So we use those genres to help open them up, build their self-esteem, teach them how to work with other young people. We have found out that employers and colleges have said that if young people don't have soft skills, they're likely to not succeed in the workplace or not succeed in college. So we're really emphasizing the development of those skills through theater. So we have 3 programs in place, like you have to die to get out of Asante Children's Theater. Okay. We have 3 programs in place. Prep for Life serves young people. It's an exposure program from 6 to 18 years old. And then the ACT Academy for individuals 12 to 18 years old who are serious about being a performing artist. And then ACT for adults. Once you reach the age of maturity and you decide that this is something you would like to do, you might not be a performing artist, but you may be a teaching artist, and we offer those opportunities.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about each of your programs. Sounds exciting. Yes. And I'm interested in learning more. So do you want to talk a little bit more about how people get to the Metropolitan Youth Orchestra? How often do you meet? What work do you do with the young people and the families and that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. So we currently have about 250 families enrolled in our program, and we're kicking off our season actually tomorrow, and it is we're actually also celebrating an anniversary, our 20th anniversary, which is really exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so families come to us in a variety of ways. You know, word of mouth. We have partnerships all over the community, which is great. Schools and churches and community centers. So we reach out in that way. We're really striving to reach families who may not otherwise have the connections, the capacity to learn to play an instrument. I mean, we recognize that that can be a pretty expensive endeavor. right? An instrument, private lessons, orchestra, and we have the ability to provide all of that to our families. And again, as I mentioned before, it's for families. So the kids, often the families enroll a student, one student who's interested. And once we have some time to sit down and talk with them, we find out they have more children in the family. Maybe a parent comes with them to the meeting where we sit down and talk with them initially. And by the end of that meeting, we have the entire family with us, and everyone's playing an instrument, and we have families who then come and rehearse with us every week during the year. And so the kids receive lessons, everyone comes to orchestra with us, and they have performances as well. So they get to perform at Hilbert Circle Theater, which is a wonderful experience.
Cool.
And so we're also working on building those life skills, communication between families. That's one of the reasons why we actively engage our parents, is to help families really kind of foster that positive communication and positive relationships. So they learn empathy from one another, the challenge of learning an instrument, overcoming a really challenging situation. In most cases, we're putting it in a really safe place, right? It's musically that they're struggling with this. Often parents don't share the challenges that they're struggling through with their kids for good reason, but this gives the kids a chance to see how their parents achieve through struggles and see that they also can do that. And often we find that the kids become, in many ways, teachers to their parents, because the tables get turned as the kids learn and progress a little bit quicker in their musical studies often, and the kids get really excited about that. They become a teacher to the rest of their family, and that changes the dynamics, and they have this really tangible asset and this value that they have to offer within their family dynamic, and we find that builds really positive relationships.
That's great. And what instruments do?
Absolutely, we teach string musicians, string instruments, violin, viola, cello, and bass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk more about?
Well, we're very similar
Okay.
in that we also engage families. We have one project that we start in September and it culminates in December. It's the holiday concert, and we have different themes. This year, our theme will be a Superfly Christmas, a tribute to Curtis Mayfield. And what we do is blend the voices from all three programs. So a lot of times in the ACT adult programs, we have parents that have become involved. And everybody works alongside one another using choral singing and studying the history of music. So now we do have the similar scenario where we have young people working alongside parents or grandparents, studying the music, learning how to sing, how to project, how to deliver and have presence on stage, working side by side. Mom or dad may be fearful, just totally fearful, and they rely on each other to build that confidence so that when it's performance time, here you have families on stage together delivering a powerful performance piece. So we're very similar in that way. And you do see this confidence elevate amongst the siblings and amongst the family members. So having that family approach is very positive.
And what I've heard both of you say is there's a lot more that you're doing aside from just teaching a child how to play an instrument or just teaching a child how to sing or act, that there are other skills that are being developed, and there's a structure to it, there's a plan, and that these families and kids get benefits that are lifelong.
It's stealth learning on the front end. On the front end, you tell them we're teaching acting, singing, dancing, and storytelling. While that's happening, you have all of these other skills that are being acquired. Learning how to communicate with each other, learning how to respect elders, teaching young people how to respect authority and respect whoever is the designated elder in a group is a powerful lesson that takes them throughout life. And they're empowered when they're able to do that, and they understand their responsibility as they are elders. So being able to do that, and then also the communication piece, but the confidence is it. Once they are empowered and learn that they are worthy of the gifts that they have and worthy of the opportunity to deliver, that's it. They've learned the lessons.
And they've probably, along the way, finding they have talents that they never knew that they had.
Exactly.
Thought that they had.
Exactly. You have people come in and go, well, I'm good at singing. Well, okay. but that's not going to help. You got to open yourself up for acting and dance, and just try it. But if you don't want to succeed at it, make sure you tell yourself that every day. I can't sing. I can't sing, and I guarantee you, you won't.
Yeah, that's true.
So we believe our own messaging.
Okay. Do you utilize a particular curriculum or method, or?
Well, for us, we at the Metropolitan Youth Orchestra, we have a faculty of about 25 teachers that we work with, and they come to us from a variety of places. We have folks who have been teaching private studio lessons for years, folks who teach in classroom settings, folks who are members of the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. So a variety of backgrounds, and many of them already have demonstrated success in teaching music in their way, and we don't change that. They're skilled at that, they're wonderful at that, and the unique place that they come from also is something that we very much value in all of our teachers. Our students will connect with different teachers in different ways because of the experiences that they might have shared or have or aspire to in the future. So that's all wonderful. The thing that we really try to instill with our teachers is that other piece. It's the same thing with our families. It's the piece that people don't naturally connect with music, that the family dynamics, the family engagement, the communication. We talk a lot about compassionate accountability. And so we work to talk about child development, what's appropriate, what's not, what are warning signs for things. So we spend a lot of time really training our teachers in the other piece of this that doesn't naturally come from learning to play an instrument in kind of that conservatory environment. That doesn't naturally necessarily come to a lot of our teachers, and so we spend time working on that and reinforcing that. And the same thing is true with not just our teachers, but our staff and everyone else who's working closely with the program. So it's very important that we talk about those things. But musically, we have very strong teachers, and we don't have a very specific curriculum that we use. So.
We're similar, but we're coming from a cultural perspective. So we're teaching from an African American lens, looking at everything through that lens, and helping people to understand the value of appreciating your culture so that you can then appreciate other cultures, because now you can recognize the similarities. So our teachers, we have 7 on staff. They're teaching artists. A lot of them are professional. So they are introducing young people from their perspective to help them to understand where the power is, where the strength is, why you have a responsibility to your community to be the best that you can be in whatever it is that you're doing. So that's the place that we come from.
Okay. So I love it. I mean, I just love that, we think about schools being a place where children learn, but there are so many other opportunities, and you are perfect examples of the opportunities to learn outside of the classroom, because you're still incorporating history.
Yes.
You're reading, learning how to read music. You're doing those soft skills, learning how to engage and be a good community person, which are things way above and beyond what happens in a school setting.
True.
And it's really powerful, and it's what helps make our kids very well-rounded and able to relate to people and to do well in any type of situation or environment. So do young people come to you, or do you take programming out into the schools or into the community, or do you have a location where they come to get their lessons or come to perform? Talk a little bit about that.
Young people come to us. We recruit through word of mouth, and then because we've been around a long time, people who come to our shows and they get to see someone on stage who looks like them, it's like, oh wow, I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to do this. So we go out to the schools to recruit, so our messaging goes out, but we do not have any programming in the schools right now, and hopefully people are listening to that and they pick up the cue and you can call us.
Okay. And where do you rehearse out of?
We are rehearsing currently out. Our home base is Madam Walker Theater, downtown Indianapolis, 617 Indiana Avenue. And then we are also in an IPS location, the Forest Manor Professional Development Center on the east side.
Okay.
And then Regina Marsh at Forest Manor Multi-Service Center allows us to use her space. So we're spread out over the city, and oftentimes when we perform around the city as well. But predominantly the Madam Walker Theater because of its historic merit.
I was going to say, what better place to be?
Right, right. And when the kids are on that stage and they hear about the other people, the elders in the community abroad who have performed on that stage, that takes it up a notch.
Yeah. That's cool.
Great. Well, the Metropolitan Youth Orchestra, our home base is really at Broadway United Methodist Church for rehearsals, most of our lessons and things of that nature. As I mentioned, the families get to perform at Hilbert Circle Theater, which is always a fantastic experience. And actually that's one of my favorite moments every year is the very first time our kids get to see the stage, even just walking on it, not actually even playing on it yet, but just seeing it, walking through the doors and seeing the theater from the stage is just fantastic to see their faces and how excited they get about that. We have partnerships around the city and places where we do offer lessons kind of on site for students to make it a little bit easier for them to be a part of us. Our students do participate in both a lesson experience and an orchestra experience every week, and we do ask them to come to us for their orchestra experience. Many of them also come directly to us for their lesson. In some cases, we do take them out to certain schools and such. So, but we're really excited. Broadway United Methodist Church has really kind of become a community center for the neighborhood, and we're just very like-minded in how we're serving folks there, and so it's nice to have a home of that nature. So.
And costs. Talk a little bit about, you know, since this show is viewed by the general public, what are the costs that are involved in programs?
Well, the Prep for Life program is a 9-week program. They meet once a week on Saturdays for 2 hours. And that's cost for families is $105. We do offer payment plans. We do offer scholarships. It's limited. And then the Academy program, which is 10 months. We ask for a 10-month commitment. The cost is a little bit deeper in the pockets. $525. That's $175 every 3 months. So, and we offer help assistance with that program as well. The adults do not pay because they're giving of their time and coming in to help us set the bar for our young people.
Yeah, and for MYO, the costs, we basically run through the school year, so basically September through about early May typically. And the cost for that to families is $180 for the year. And with that, they get their lesson and the orchestra experience. And if they need it, we have a limited supply of instruments that they can also borrow from us. So there's really a lot included in that. We still have scholarships available as needed, payment plans. You know, we very much talk about the fact that we do not turn away a family because they can't pay. We will find a way. Whatever that needs to be, we will make it work.
And that's critical.
It absolutely is, yeah. Yeah, to be accessible, it's vitally important.
Now we have 7 summer partners, and for that experience, the fees are assessed by the site. But Asante Children's Theater has a presence at 7 camps around the city.
During the summer months?
In the summertime.
And so you take the summer off? Not you, but
not me personally.
MYO, the summer off.
So, right. So MYO is a school year program. We sort of have relationships, I would say, with different entities that provide summer programming. So we have relationships with the Butler Community Arts School that has many camps that they offer. And we have a relationship with the Philharmonic Orchestra of Indianapolis that has the Strings and Jazzy Things summer camp program. You know, and some of those relationships around the community, we feel very strongly that we want our kids freed up to be able to participate in these wonderful experiences that are already out there. We don't feel like we need to recreate the wheel in that case. There are very good quality programs that really kind of serve the same niche that we would if we were to go into that. So so we give them that sort of freedom to explore those other options, connect them to different programming that's available during the summer, and then we reconvene in late August.
Okay, great. Well, like I said, it sounds like you ladies are doing wonderful work with wonderful programs. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your program, about the benefits? how people get to you? Anything like that?
Well, they can visit our website,
Okay.
www.asante, A-S-A-N-T-E, children's with an S, theater, theatre.org.
Okay.
Or they can call 317-652-3727 to connect to Asante Children's Theater. They can follow us on Facebook and pick up a lot of information on what we're doing in the community and keep up with our calendar, which is
Busy.
big.
Yeah.
Yes, which is big.
And for MYO, of course, folks can reach out to our website. We're with Indianapolis Symphony, so it's indianapolissymphony.org is the best way to reach us through our education programs on the website. And they can reach us also on Facebook and Twitter and all those great social media outlets. So we have a strong presence there and telling our story all the time. As I mentioned, celebrating our 20th anniversary, I think we want to let people know that we will be having a great big celebration concert on April 10th this upcoming year, 2016. It will be at Hilbert Circle Theater at 3 o'clock. And so just look for us throughout the year. We're really excited to be out in the community. If there are folks who are looking for building partnerships and building relationships with us, absolutely reach out. We're excited, we're interested, and we want to get to know everyone in our community. So.
Yeah, we're looking for partners as well. We're partnering right now with Conner Prairie on a project, and we're developing plays to tell more African American stories about the history in the state of Indiana. We're exploring the Roberts settlement further, and then our actors will be depicting those stories at Conner Prairie. So we're really looking for opportunities that are unique, that people don't normally see those partnerships happening. So anytime anybody wants to reach out, and we can talk about opportunities to bring our resources together.
Okay, that's great. And you serve kids and families no matter where they live,
no matter where
their
they live,
income
no matter
levels,
their
no
income.
matter...
The doors are open.
Yes.
Okay.
Every child, every family needs to have access. And to say, no, you can't because you don't have the funding, or the transportation for us is a biggie. Okay, we have problems with transportation, and when families cannot get the child to us, then that poses a major problem because we can't send transportation.
Yeah, it's the same for us.
Yeah.
Doors are open. We encourage everyone to reach out and be a part of this. We find that families with many different backgrounds, different levels of income in particular, we've found that everyone really needs to have this rally of support from their community.
Right.
Many of our kids, are struggling with all kinds of different things, and to have the support and know that they have caring adults in their lives in all different venues. So our schools, I think we are just another point of contact for them, and I think there can't be too many.
Right.
So the more of our programs that we can use to rally around our families, I think the better, the stronger they're going to be, and the stronger our community is going to be.
I don't think I could have said it any better. I think we should just end the show on that. No, that's wonderful. And again, I thank you ladies for being here, because I think it's super important to highlight what is happening in our community outside of schools. There's lots of opportunities for kids to learn, to be engaged and involved, to learn those life skills and soft skills, to better relate to people. And it's available. Sometimes I'm a sports baby, so I grew up playing lots of sports and didn't get involved in some other things, and I think it's important that families recognize that there are a lot of out-of-school time programs and opportunities beyond just things that are attached to the school and beyond just athletics as well, that there are lots of other ways, and I have tried to help expose my kids to a lot of different things. That's why I was talking to you about having my 10-year-old get involved, because she's done some sports, she's doing some dance, but I'd love to see her do some theater. I'd love to have her play an instrument, but I think it's really important. Okay, well, she's ready. The drama is ramping up.
Okay.
But I think it's important, like I said, the kids just be exposed to a variety of things, and they get the opportunity to meet different people and see the different parts of the city in different settings, the theater, the Walker Building. I mean, what great opportunities. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Our Kids, Our Families, Our Communities. And we look forward to seeing you next episode.